Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Myself Parimala, studying in Shri Venkateswara College of Engineering. And today's subject is Java, and the topic is basics of inheritance. Here, let us go with the introduction to inheritance. Inheritance is a fundamental concept in object-oriented programming. It allows a new class to inherit properties and methods from an existing class. This promotes code reusability and establishes a hierarchical relationship between the classes. Terminology: the class that is inherited from is called the superclass or the parent class. The class that inherits is known as the subclass or the child class. Subclasses can add their own fields and methods in the addition to those inherited. So here is the two topics or the two definitions wherein it is a very important definitions, that is the superclass also known as parent class, subclass also known as child class. Superclass or the parent class is inherited from the class that is inherited is called as super or parent. The class that inherits itself is called as the subclass or the child class. The subclasses have their own fields and methods to those inherited because those are inherited themselves. Syntax of inheritance. In Java, inheritance is implemented using the extends keyword. A subclass can only extend one superclass due to Java's single inheritance model. This helps maintain a clear and organized class structure. Here we can say that in the syntax of the inheritance, extends is used. Here we can see the example like package com dot public class, public static void main system. We have to declare like that we'll get. Types of inheritance. There are many types of inheritance like the single, multiple, multi-level, hierarchical, like that. So in that Java supports single inheritance which involves one subclass inheriting from one superclass. Java supports only the single inheritance because it involves only one subclass and inherits from the one other superclass. It also supports the multi-level inheritance where a subclass inherits from another subclass. It supports the single inheritance and also the multiple inheritance. Multiple inheritance says that the subclass inherits from another subclass. Single, we can say that subclass inherits from superclass. Here subclass inherits another subclass. However, Java does not support the multiple inheritance directly to avoid ambiguity. Here we can see single inheritance, class A, class B. Class A inherits, class B inherits class A. The super keyword. Here, the super keyword is used to call the superclasses methods and constructors. So it helps differentiate between superclass and subclass members when they have the same name. Using super can help in accessing overriding methods in the parent class. Here we can see that super keyword is used to call the superclasses. This is also a main important. Super keyword is used to call the superclass methods or the constructors. Super keyword also helps in differentiate between superclass and subclass when they have the same name. So next topic we go with the method overriding. Method overriding allows a subclass to provide a specific implementation of method already defined in its superclass. So method overriding allows a subclass to provide a specific implementation of a method already defined in its superclass. So this is essential for runtime polymorphism, where the method that gets executed is determined at runtime. Overridden methods must have the same name return type, and parameters as the method in the superclass. And parameters as the method in the superclass. Access modifiers in inheritance. Access modifiers determine how class members can be accessed in subclasses. Access modifiers are of 3 or 4 types, that is public, private, protected, and one more in the Java included, that is default. Okay, so the public members are accessible everywhere. So public is called, it is accepted everywhere, while the protected members are accessible within the package and by subclasses. Private members are not accessible in subclasses, ensuring encapsulation. Public access specifier is accessible everywhere, that is called as public, and the protected members are accessible within the package or within the subclasses. And private is not accessible in subclasses, ensuring encapsulation. Abstract classes and inheritance. Abstract classes cannot be instantiated and are meant to be subclassed. They can contain abstract methods that must be implemented in derived classes. This allows for defining a common interface while providing flexibility in the implementation. Here is one example wherein university teachers, students, and graduate. Interfaces and inheritance. Interfaces allows a class to implement multiple behaviors, providing a form of multiple inheritance. So interface, what does interface do? It allows the class to implement multiple behaviors, providing to form a multiple inheritance. A class can implement multiple interfaces, facilitating greater flexibility in design. All methods and interfaces are abstract by default and must be implemented by the class. So interfaces says that they are abstract by default and they must be implemented by the class. Here we can see multiple inheritance in Java. Interface, 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 interface. First form of interface is implemented to the class. Second form of interfaces are extends to the interface. Constructor behavior and inheritance. These are not inherited by the subclass. You can call a superclass constructor as super. This ensures that initialization of inherited fields is completed. The superclasses constructor is before called a subclasses constructor. Advantages are they promote code reusability, allowing developers to create a new classes based on existing ones. So it helps in establishing a clear relationship between the classes, making code easier to maintain. Inheritance also enables polymorphism, enhancing flexibility of code. So conclusion says that understanding the inheritance is essential for effective object-oriented programming in Java. So it provides a framework for the organizing code and promotes best practices in the software and development. Mastering inheritance will enhance your ability to write robust and maintainable Java applications. Here I end the topic, basics of inheritance. Thank you.